Welcome to another episode of Seriously Hilarious with Shonda and V.
Hey.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Today we're going to be talking about health and wellness in the digital age. So, looking back, even just over my lifetime, I'll say over my time as being an adult in my life, looking back at health and wellness, I feel like things were way different. Back in the 90s, in the 2000s, we were buying Tabo videos on DVD.
Billy
and,
Blanks.
and right, Billy Blanks. He's like fitness. If you wanted to get fit, that's what you needed to do, right? And then what's the other one? PX90 and all of
Mm-hmm.
those things. Ashanti. Nowadays everything is just right at your fingertips, right on your phone, right on your computer, right outside the door. I don't even think, I feel like people were working out outside back in the 90s. Of course, they always worked out outside, but I feel like now everybody's working out outside. But then I also wonder, is it harder now to be focused on health and wellness with everything right in front of your face with the telephone, because you got all this big backery taking place, right? Like they got all this food, cheesecake, donuts, Oreo, fried, dyed, laid to the side, just in front of your face, all these meals with cheese and sweet potato pie. I saw something they had macaroni and cheese on top, baked on top of a sweet potato pie. I was like, I know you lying. So the food, like even me, even though I'm very, very, very much conscientious about what food I eat, I see a lot of this big backery. So the internet
Not
has
Big
coined it
Backery.
because they got songs about big back, big backs, big back. What you
Big
gonna
back,
do?
big back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's a whole thing. But I see so much stuff on my feeds just about food, 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 food. And thankfully, I have a little bit of self control. So I know that that's not the food I need to be putting in my body. But for the people who don't, and just like, oh my God, those sizzling whatevers and boiled this and baked that and seasoned this and sweet that looks so amazing. They just lose control and they be at home making that stuff or ordering it. I saw some foolery where somebody had made a cheesecake, Krispy Kreme donut, banana pudding,
That
like
sounds
dessert. It was
disgusting.
all mixed together. And it was
Mm.
like one dessert. And I was like, why would you put three desserts together like that?
I mean, the textures don't match.
It's too much sugar. It's just once something becomes too sweet, it's not even good anymore. It's like you only need so much sugar and stuff.
You said cheesecake and what else?
It was like cheesecake, Krispy Kreme donuts, and banana pudding.
All soft things.
All
All things
things to,
that can
that are
be
soft.
regurgitated. You know what I
All
mean?
the
No.
soft stuff don't
Like,
go together.
where's the crunch?
Ain't
You
no
know?
one no. I guess in the vanilla wafers or the banana pudding. I have no
But even
idea.
those get soft.
But I feel like it may be harder with all of the food consumption that's in front of your face nowadays, more so than back in the day, because there was no internet. Like, and even when people were on the internet, when Facebook did just come out, nobody was trying to put food on it like that. People were just on it trying to reconnect and hang out. So, is working out and staying healthy harder now than it was then, or easier now because we have more access to health and wellness and what is healthy and what isn't healthy?
Well, I think it's what you focus on. And friend, it really sounds like you need to change your algorithm.
I think something is wrong with my algorithm because I get all kind of foolery on
I
on
don't
mine.
get
I don't
those
know why.
things. I get a lot of but it's what you like,
But I
right?
also get workout videos all the
Yeah, I
time
get
too.
workout
I get try
videos,
this and do this and lose
healthy
an
meals
ab
and
and
recipes.
I do get every blue moon I might get a healthy thing, but all the food that show up be
Yeah. I think it's because you probably get fascinated with the foolery. So you watch the videos and try to figure out like I feel like I spent too much time, too many minutes watching a video where she had like a vanilla cake. It was like a sheet cake. And then she like gutted out the inside and filled it with green jello. And I was like,
mm,
why? So in my disgust. It's like
now your algorithm will forever change.
It's probably like, oh, she liked that. Send her more. No.
Right.
No.
Right.
So I really think that sorry, I had some distraction there.
Oh, it's
I
okay.
really think that it's all about what you focus on. So, for example, like I feel like now that we have the wearables, we have the apps, we have the influencers, that I'm more likely to work out because my level of awareness is better, and then I can mix and match the different types of exercise that I have, so I don't get bored. So, it's all about where my focus lies.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I don't really like going to the gym, though I do like working out. But I don't like getting ready to go work out, right? And I haven't found an app yet that helped me with that. So the only thing that I feel like helps me get up and get dressed to go to the gym is goals, right? I'm like, oh well, but I got goals. I got goals. I just want, smaller thighs and things like that. So I do think that having access to workouts and things like that on your phone for people who need something simple to start or something easier, or even when you're at home. Now, when I was at home during COVID, I was all on internet doing all kind of stuff. This video, that video, because everybody was in the house, I was also outside, but I was utilizing it a little more. So it's nice to have it conveniently at your fingertips, right? But I do agree with you. You do have to find things that you like.
Yeah.
Whether they're on the internet or not, find clothes that you feel comfortable in. So search the internet high and low. That's nice. I do like all the clothes and the brands that's been coming out with the workout clothes. So you get different options and things that feel good on your skin. You have to find the tech that you like, find the right earpieces so you can get the music bumping in your ear the way you need it to bump in your ear, so you can get out there and make it happen for you health wise. You got to get the right gym shoes. You got to have the right whole thing. So sometimes when I see people in the gym all hooked up from head to toe, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad at you, because you got to do what you got to do to make it happen.
Yeah. And so with, some of the things that you said as far as like, the get up and go, I think that for me, it's better for me to, they say, eat the frog. Do the hardest thing at the beginning of the day. And so I go work out. The first thing I do is I go work out. I get up early enough to get to the gym, and I do that consistently, and that's a habit that I have now. So if I were to miss a workout, my day is going to be different. You know what I mean? And so now that I have made that habit, I make sure that I work out. And when you work out early, for me, you work out in the morning.
I work out early in the morning too. Sometimes
I eat better during the day because I didn't just go to, ride that bike for 30 minutes just to go home and get a Krispy Kreme donut. Even though Krispy Kreme it's across the street from the gym. Like, why do they do this?
That's how they do. It's all a plot and a plan.
But you have to be disciplined, and I think that's what all of it's about. So, before, the discipline was putting that video into the VCR, depending on how old you are,
and being in your
DVD and getting it done. But for me, that was too repetitive. I couldn't get with that because it's only so many punch, kick I'm going to do.
That's true.
And he was nice to look at the first time, but I don't want to see. What's his name? Billy Blank. Okay, Billy.
Shanti was cuter.
Shanti, yeah, but Shanti.
But he was trying to kill you in the workouts. He was trying to kill
Shanti,
people.
It's some tea about Shanti.
Oh yeah, we already know, but it's okay. Nobody's never what they seem like. That's why they say don't meet your heroes, because it's gonna.
I like that.
They say don't meet.
But you know what? Every time you do, kind of start idolizing somebody, they disappoint you.
They do,
because disappointment is a result of misappointment. You like that, don't you?
You so
that
crazy.
Came to me one time. That was a download. But yeah, so I think discipline is what you need, and so One thing that I use, especially during COVID, to structure myself, in the chaos that we were experiencing, is those apps that you can program with your morning routines, and then it gives you a little hit of dopamine every time you check something off of the list, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I use technology for that,
Yeah.
right? So
You can track
the
your
first thing was
steps.
like,
Mm-hmm.
no, this is a habit tracker.
Mm.
So it would be like, oh, my dentist told me I need to floss more. So I put floss on there.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's the first thing I do. So now every time I go into the bathroom and I pick up my toothbrush, I know first I need to floss. And then I need to use that that wash pick thing, that water pick, because I love the water pick. You got a water pick? Girl, that's a whole
My brother
nother
got
thing.
one. He told
That's
me
a
I need to
whole
get
nother,
one. He
whole
said it's
nother.
amazing.
It's amazing. It's like, have you seen the girls on Instagram where they were like, oh, your shower routine ain't nothing, because they got all these steps and stuff, the brushing of the skin and all. The water pick is a must. Okay. So now I have to floss, then I have to water pick, then I have to brush, and so then I get a check and my little thing goes ding, so I get that ding for the day. That's a nice little dopamine hit. The next thing is exercise, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to have some type of exercise, right? But also using my phone, I can track my exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not doing the same thing every day, and I'm constantly improving, and I can see it because it's tracked on my phone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I really feel like technology makes me more motivated to do the hard thing, to eat that frog,
and being more consistent.
right? And then before you know it, it's like those small little habits lead to
big results,
right? Because it's the small things that matter.
Exactly.
Let me stop preaching to y'all.
I know it's true. It takes baby steps. That's why I tell people all the time. People may see me work out as out of shape as I used to be, and be like, "Oh man, Venus, you doing great." You know what? But I was like, I started walking. I just walked. I started walking, then I started jogging a little bit. I didn't lift weights for the first, I don't know, couple years I was working out, at least a year and a half or so of me working out. I didn't even lift any weights. I was just doing cardio. So, and if I was lifting any weights, it was probably like some very light weights. It wasn't like lifting heavy and doing all of the exercises that I do now. But it was more so back then about me being consistent and making sure I go every day or every other day or whenever I needed to go, my 4 or 5 times a week, and do my hour and a half of working out. And even outside of that, I was also trying to make sure that I was being consistent in my eating. I was like, okay, Venus, make sure you want to eat these. Right, and drink all my water. I was very focused on that water. I was like, okay, let me get 32 ounces in here, 32 ounces in there. And I will say back then, I did use a what do you call it? It wasn't an app or anything, but it was just a web page. It was called Couch to 5K, and it kind of just told you, and it kind of just helped you with your walk run, right? And then you got to the point where I got to the point I was running 6 miles, right? So that helped. So I'm thankful for the internet for that, because I don't think if it wasn't for the internet, I would have ever even found anything like that unless someone told me, right?
Right, but that's another thing. You allowed yourself to be a beginner, and you allowed yourself to take baby steps. And that's another thing that I like about, even the influencers, because they will, sometimes the gym for me was very intimidating. Yeah, I know a treadmill, so I'm going to go get on a treadmill. But then you realize that, you can't just keep doing cardio. You need to
you gotta lift.
But that part of the gym was it was intimidating, because you got all these men over there and they all big and buff and they want to tell you how to do and how to be and da 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 da. And I'd be like, I'm not here for you.
Right.
I'm here for me. And so I feel like when you first get in there, you have to realize that you are a beginner and allow yourself to be a beginner. And if you feel awkward, work through the awkwardness. You know what I mean? Because eventually you were going to gain the confidence, because I didn't been here before. I ain't new to this.
Right.
I grew. through this. You know what I mean? And so, I know like we have that similar experience. I didn't know you used Couch to 5K. I did too. Because at first I was like, girl, what you mean run, girl? And you see all them people running, you be like, oh my God. And you think that they started that way.
Girl, when I first started that thing, I was dying. Okay. I was so like not ever worked out in my life, kind of in a space. And I was dying, but I stuck it out because it was like, you only got to run for a minute. And I was like, I can run for a minute.
Right.
You know, even though I was dying. And then you walk for a minute, then you run for a minute. You know, you walk for 2 minutes, you whatever the increments was. And I when I first started, I was dying. But when I tell you, when I got up to the fact that I could run a whole mile,
girl,
I was like, what? Right. I was so excited. I got all into it. I got into it after that. I was like, I'm running every day. I was like, I was just on a treadmill. I got so into it because to go from like not being in shape at all, like looking like a whole letter O, to being able to run a mile or 2 miles and 3 miles and 4 miles. And it worked me up to my first 5K. Yeah. I probably could have did a 10K, but I was just starting off baby steps because I was like, I don't want to be out here falling out. Plus it was hot. It was in the middle of summer. But, you know, in that whole time of me just doing that and being consistent with my eating, I lost like 50 pounds. Yeah. You know, that was a lot for me not to have been lifting any weights. I wasn't doing anything else. I was literally just doing cardio. Right. So I was doing that and like a dance class a couple times a week. That was it. Right. So you know, you just the baby steps and that Couch 5K thing, you know, just the little thing. That's why I be trying to tell people, just find you something you can do 4 times a week. Like even if it's something small, even if it is just Pilates. Just if you doing
Pilates, don't be just Pilates. No, I mean, but Pilates
is hard. Girl, now, it will tone your whole body.
That Pilates,
girl. I know. I used to do Pilates all the time. It will have you straight.
But people look at it like, oh, it's just Pilates because it's so cute and dainty. Yeah, but it looked that way.
They're very effective movements, and it will get your body together. Girl. But I'm just saying, even if you're not doing what you call impactful exercises, you can still do impactful exercises with just doing yoga and Pilates. Even if you're only doing that 3 or 4 times a week, but if you're consistent, you'll see a change. And you could just do that on the internet. You can go on YouTube or somebody's webpage.
I used to there's a girl on YouTube, yoga with Adrian. Yeah, and she breaks it down. You can do it step by step. And so if you are too embarrassed to go to the gym, you can start at home, turn on YouTube. Now you can cast it to your TV. You know what I mean? Yep. And so you can do that, and it's about the consistency.
It's just about being consistent. Even for people who feel like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym, or I'm too big, or they don't feel a certain way about their bodies. They have a whole bunch of exercise routines you could just do from the chair. If you feel like you can't stand up, you got bad knees, you got bad hips, you can sit down and exercise. They have a lot of exercise routines, even to like the most hip hopinest songs, you know, like the Cupid Shuffle and all that stuff. They have all these chair routines. They have floor routines. They have very low impact routines that you can do at home or in the gym. All kind of routines now that I feel like, you know, even though they're all like out here in the world now because everything's at your fingertips on your phone and on your laptop. Back in the 90s, that wasn't like that. Like you had to go to the library and look stuff up and print out paper and just be like, all right, these are the moves. All right. And then you had to figure out what the moves was from a piece of paper. You didn't have nobody demonstrating them to you back in 1999, right? Or even in the early 2000s anyway. Now, maybe middle 2000s, Facebook, the internet kind of started popping off real good. So a lot more stuff was on there and people were driven to it more so at that time. You know what?
My aunt, and she will tell you to this day that she used Lil Jon and East Side Boys to shake off that baby fat. Hey. And she been skinny ever since. Hey. You know, I'm sorry, thin. She's been thin ever since.
Them old songs be the songs.
Girl.
Get your booty on the porch now. Make my day. Hey, make my day. It'll just keep you going. Some house music. I'm from Chicago, so some good old house music.
All you gotta do is move your body. Just purposeful movement. Yeah. So I think that's why they say that 10,000 steps a day. because walking is a very effective
Walking will
exercise.
work out your entire body.
Yes.
If you are walking, you're swinging your arms, you're moving your legs. If you're engaging your core, everything is getting worked out. And your cardiovascular, your heart health, everything is getting worked out. Your whole body systems are being moved when you walk. So 10,000 steps a day is just a start, though. Really, that's just a base. You really, depending on your health and body type, you probably should do more. 15,000 steps a day, but 10 is a nice place to start.
Right. And the thing is, even if you cannot do it, do something.
Yes.
You
do 5,000 steps a day. Right. Start somewhere. Just start small.
And that's why I like that there are different forms of exercise, because you have to do something that doesn't feel like punishment, to you, and for me, I think the fact that I am in competition with myself from yesterday,
right,
is what keeps me motivated. I be like, oh girl, you know what, I ran around the park, you know what I mean, and I did it in might have been like 30 minutes the first time, but now I'm down to 25, and then you down to 20, and then you da-da-da. And you just, you're proving to yourself that you are capable. Yeah. And so you take those skills, for me, I take those skills into other areas in my life, and because I'm like, oh, I can do hard things. I always say I can do hard things.
Yes, which I don't think you should say, but I mean, whatever. If you want to do hard things all the time, you go around.
I do hard things, okay? Like
I don't do hard things. I do things that are difficult, and yeah.
Well, anyway, you know what I mean, but it can't be taken out of context.
But yeah, I mean, that's very true. You can use all of that determination and stick-to-itiveness and all of that stuff in all areas of your life. I think a lot of times people get discouraged when they don't see results right away. But that's why I tell people, I was like, if you just stick it out for one. If you can be consistent and disciplined for 1 week, you'll see results that'll push you to week 2, week 3, week 4.
Right.
But
even
a lot of times people can't
I
get
got
past
up
it.
easier.
Yeah,
it might not be physical.
Exactly. But getting up easy is physical, right?
Well, I mean, it might not be visual results. But yeah, now you're stronger. Yeah. And so, I'm always trying to prepare myself for being, as I age.
Look, like me and my brother say, you have to be able to participate in your own rescue.
Right.
Because if you cannot walk, run, dive, squat, get up, you are going to,
like the
you
people
ain't
where
gonna
they
make
have to, you seen 600-pound life, and they got to basically open the front of the house for some people to get out of there.
Cut the whole wall out.
Kidding me?
But now look at it this way. Now you're laying there. You can't move. Someone comes in. You can't even participate in your own rescue.
Girl.
You getting robbed, held up at gunpoint.
Yeah.
You can't save your children.
No.
Your kids just getting kidnapped. They just got snatched out the house. Your husband just got, God forbid any of this happens, but your husband got bopped upside the head, and you just laying there like, no, stop, wait. You can't do anything. You can't chase anybody. You can't run. You can't throw a knife. You can't do anything. Like, why would you want to put yourself in a position where you are a hindrance to your own safety, let alone your children and family safety, right? That's what I think is crazy. But we always say you got to be able to, you got to be able to run a little bit. Nobody say you had to be a track star. Nobody said
that's just
that.
Like swimming. You got to know how to stay alive.
You
don't have to swim miles, but you got to know how to keep your head above water.
Exactly. You should be able to squat. What if you got to duck down? You can't squat. Right. So now the murderer gonna see you because you're not hiding because you can't squat. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if you are physiologically unable to do something, like you paralyzed or something like that. That's different. But for you to just be physiologically unable because you don't do it, that's different. Because now it's like you could do it though. Right. If you started to do those types of things, you could do squats. Right. You could squat down and hide from a intruder and not get murdered. You could, throw a heavy object if you were used to swing it around kettlebells, with 30-pound weights in them. You be like, I could throw this brick at these people. Participate in your own safety. So
yeah, but also in your longevity too, because there was an influencer talking about the farmer's carry.
Yeah,
Like you should
it
be
does.
able to
Like half your
lift
body weight or
half your body
Mhm.
weight, and that will mean that you will be able to function. So functional fitness is a whole thing. You
Mhm.
should be able to function,
Carry
to
your
take
own
care of
groceries.
yourself.
Mhm.
Because personally, me, if I become where I need to have round the clock care, just count me
You could
out.
roll me over on the pillow. Just roll me right
I
on
can't
over.
do it. You mean I can't
On the-
wash my own arse?
Right.
I'm gonna need to wash my own arse.
Girl, I would say I would be okay with somebody coming to clean
The
and
house.
cook. Clean and cook.
Right.
Everything else, I need to be able to do for me.
Exactly.
I need to be able to do for me. Thank you. Thank you,
Mhm.
but no thank you. If I can't do those things, then just roll me right on over on the pillow. Just give me that whole bottle of those amphetamines or whatever. Just give me the whole bottle. I'm just gonna take that whole bottle right there and just not wake up.
I think we
sounds
have
crazy.
some indicators pretty early, because at one point they were telling me, "Oh, you're pre-diabetic." Oh, that was a sign for me to make some changes. So that's what I was going to tell you. Another thing is, like, with all this fitness on all around us and is accessible, you basically have to wear blinders and purposely decide not to
engage in
move.
any fitness
Right.
activities.
And so that's what I'm saying. If you take those small steps, then you can feel capable.
And find something you like. Like, so okay, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to work out. Fine. So many of these dances go viral. You could just start doing line dances or where their fans at and swinging whatever these dances they got all kind of dances. It's dances to almost every single song that's out these days.
Now, I'm
and
tell
just
you
start
one
doing
thing.
those dances every day for like 10 minutes. You be tired. The biker shuffle is 8 minutes long
Girl,
by itself.
that Tamiya dance is like,
and you turn
that is
around
like
50
chemistry
times.
for me. I can't do that.
Girl, you turn around 50 times. It's too much. I learned how to do it. I just don't like the fact you got to turn around 50 times.
It's
I be
just
dizzy.
too much.
I'm like, who is doing all? First you hopping. First you doing Drew Heels. Because them ain't nothing but Drew Heels. And then you cross.
Tell me what you want.
Like, yeah. I mean, right. And then you're crossing your legs, and then you do 50 turns, and then you got to be on the shoulder side, like wherever your shoulder end up. Like, who is doing all this focusing just to do? No, thank you. That's okay.
It used to be simple. I put my hands up on my
hip. It used to be
move
move to the right, move to the left, turn around. Right. One clap, 2 hops. Like, tell me what to do.
Right.
I need you to tell me what to
and
do.
Say it slow.
And if you're not telling me what to do, like if you just playing a song and I'm supposed to know how to, then I'm going to mess up.
Yeah.
Like, tell me I'm supposed to be turning around. I'm supposed to be hopping, crisscross. Do the brown.
Back it up.
And stomp.
And stop.
Like something, tell me something. Like, I just can't be I'm not going to remember it. Like, that's the only reason why I like line dancing, because they literally tell you to the left, 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 to the right, to the right, to the right. Kick. 1 kick, 2 kick, 3 kick. Now, walk it by yourself. You already know how to do the Cupid Shuffle, because all you got to do is listen to the music. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Because other than that.
Slide. Don't they tell you how to do that? No.
No, but the electric slide
is I feel like that's
so ingrained into our blood DNA. You just
just
kind of know how to do the electric slide.
Any type of
that was like the first real line dance that everybody knew.
Girl, I think they taught that in school. Like, you be in gym class, at some point you gonna do the electric slide.
Girl, if you don't do it at no other point, you should do it at your family's cookout. You gonna do an electric slide.
Everybody is not invited to the cookout.
But you are, because it's your family. You should be invited to your own family's cookout. Like,
Okay.
Now other folk might not be invited to the cookout, but
some of the listeners may not have cookout.
I mean, they have cook-ins, cook-arounds.
They don't need to cook.
Some
of them. Girl, you see this stuff they be on TV?
They be having ordering.
Oh, girl.
They be like, let's order out, order in, whatever.
So I heard. So you know how they be having these unseasoned chicken?
Yeah, light-skinned chickens.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody made a great point. They said Black people don't really like the taste of meat. We like the taste of season. And I'm going to tell you, they're right, because there is not one piece of meat that I'm going to eat that
without no season. You know what? That's not true. I will eat salmon with no seasoning. That's probably the only fish that I could really think of that I could eat season free because it still tastes like salmon. I don't know about no other piece of fish. All the other fish, I'm gonna need some seasoning on it.
When have you ever done that though? Because like even if you have it in salmon salad, this is salad dressing. You have.
I don't eat dressing.
Oh yeah, you don't.
See, so I will eat a plain piece of salmon
and
on
then you
some
don't
salad.
Do salt either.
And I don't do salt.
Well, you know,
I beg those people not to put salt on it.
You're unusual.
But salmon probably the only fish that I would be willing to do that with. I don't think
in a good way.
I don't think I would be willing to do that with any other fish that I've tasted thus far. No. But salmon, yes. Salmon kind of just tastes like it tastes. Now it does. Don't get me wrong. It do taste better with some herbs and spices on it. Don't get me wrong, because you know you can pop out with a little salmon on your plate. You can show out a little bit. However, see, you know, a lot of times food is just a vehicle for seasoning, because we will season some rice.
Girl.
We will season some vegetables. We was seasoning the mess out of all of it. If it tastes
like nothing, I'm not gonna eat it.
But I don't.
That's like, that was the worst part of COVID, was like losing your taste. Like, just kill me now, Jesus. Just let me go. What do you mean I can't taste?
I don't mind eating food that's plain. It's as long as it's for, I know I'm getting a nutritional value out of it. Now, if I'm eating food that's supposed to be fun and tasty, then it needs to be tasty. Otherwise, I'm like, what was the point of eating the calories if it wasn't even tasty? But if it's just a nutritional thing, then it doesn't have to really taste like. Now, I prefer it not taste nasty, but it doesn't have to taste all extra.
But I don't want it to taste like water.
I mean, water tastes great. H2O.
I'd rather drink water.
Well, drink water. Water is always an option.
I don't want like you mean no. See, I can't even imagine. You say I can't say it because
you
I can't
even imagine not having no seasoning. I've eaten food with no seasoning,
no herbs, no spice. Girl,
I have. It's fine.
That sounds like punishment.
It sounds like nutrition.
Okay, I'm thinking about, could I eat broccoli with
I love plain broccoli. I like my broccoli plain. I'd rather eat it plain than with anything on it.
Uncooked broccoli,
yes. Uncooked or cooked. Either way.
Now you're starting to remind me of them Oreos with the banana pudding.
I'm just saying, I don't necessarily mind. However, my caveat is that if it's something that's supposed to be good, I want it to be good. Like if I'm eating a piece of cake, I don't want to just bite into no piece of cake. Ain't got no cake in it. Ain't got no sugar in it. Ain't got no nothing, no butter in it. And I'm be like, what the heck?
Seasoning, but it got sugar in it.
What
is talking about? Because I was thinking, I was like, oh, we do, because we eat a piece of cake, but cake got sugar in it.
Right, it got something, and sugar is a seasoning.
Yeah, but you know. Yeah. When I think of season, I'm thinking about, you know what I'm saying, some salt, some pepper, some oregano.
Right, some chipotle, some. I understand what you're saying, but it just depends on what I'm eating and what I'm eating for and what I'm trying to do. Like if I be like, ooh, Shonda girl, let's go get something tasty, then yes, I want it to be tasty.
Yes.
When I go eat it. But if I'm just eating and I'm really focused about what I'm eating, it could be plain. Like I've gone to restaurants and told them don't put no seasoning on any of my food.
Eat chicken with no seasoning.
I can. I have.
Kill me now, Lord.
I'd rather not, but I have.
So that means you could rough it in the woods there.
I mean, but if I'm just trying to get some quick protein real quick and it's plain, it's plain. And if I'm not trying to do all this herb, like say your meal prep is gone, right? Your meal prep gone, and you like, I just worked out. I need to hurry up and make this chicken and hook it up. And you ain't got time to be hooking it up. You just finna cook the chicken, chop it up, eat it with a couple of spoonfuls of broccoli, and walk back out the door. You got stuff to do.
I am never in a rush like that.
I'm just saying.
I live a soft life.
Okay. I'm just saying.
There's no way. Because I feel like I'm too much of a foodie. I
probably will always put garlic powder on it, though.
I'm too much of a foodie to even like, I feel like that just disappoints my mind thinking about it.
It doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. I after I did my no salt, no sugar thing years ago, I learned to eat and enjoy the taste of food without stuff on it. because I didn't really eat a lot of seasonings on it at the time. At the time when I was doing it, now I'm herbs and spices all day, every day.
Okay.
But back then, I was literally just putting like garlic powder and black pepper on my fish, and that was it. And
That's fine. That's fine.
And I was just, or I would eat the fish plain, whatever the case may be. I just needed the nutrients.
You can do hard things.
You can do the protein,
hard things.
The whole point was the nutrition, though. Like, I was making sure I was getting my vegetables in, my fruit in, my protein in every day. I was very particular. Girl, I ate so many grams of protein every day. I need to go back to doing it. So many grams of protein every day.
The fact that you sound excited talking about
because
this punishment.
It wasn't abuse. A punishment.
You've been abused.
It was what it was, but it was about nutrition. It's a little meme on Instagram. It was like, you don't diet for taste, you diet for results. Eat that ish and stop it. You don't. It's not about taste all the time.
I get it, but I can't.
Sometimes you just gotta suck it up. What you saying? Eat the frog.
No,
that
is a toad.
I mean,
girl, it's got warts on it. Nothing about that sounds appetizing. I don't ever want to be that healthy where I'm just eating stuff that is just not just.
Well, everything.
My mouth needs to have an experience. Oh, that don't sound.
That don't sound right at all, girl. Well, my mouth doesn't need an experience, as you can see. I am an experience-free place. I don't do hard things, and my mouth does not need an experience. This girl over here is tripping. Oh my God. I don't need that. I think you mean
that came out wrong.
I think you mean your taste buds.
My taste buds.
Because your whole mouth? No. Just the taste buds.
My taste buds need to be enthused.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. So, yes, but thankfully, with all of the access we have in this digital age we live in, you can look up recipes for things with no salt in them, no sugar in them, that are actually tasty.
With some
seasonings. Can find other herbs and spices that you are not necessarily used to using. Yeah. And hook your food up and still be healthy and still be low blood pressure, low sodium, no sugar, whatever, and lose weight or just be a healthier person on the inside, whatever your goals are. You do not have to do hard things.
You don't have to compromise flavor though to be healthy.
You don't have to compromise flavor.
Even I have done a low salt because everything has salt in it. But I've done like a low salt, no extra sugar diet, you know, and I will admit that really does change your taste buds, like your palate.
It does.
Because I know when the first time I went to New York, I was, I'm from the South, right? And so, we love our salt. We love our seasoned salt. And you don't know until you know that seasoned salt don't go on everything. And just because it don't mean add more salt when you say, oh, I can't taste nothing, add some more. Don't add more salt.
Right.
But so when I went to New York, I went and I was having pasta. And I was like, this is not good. Like, y'all talking about it's so good. This pizza's so good. No, it's not. But that's because I couldn't taste the oregano. I couldn't taste anything except for salt because it was so much salt in my diet. So then when I went back, I'm like, oh, it is really flavorful because now I can taste the herbs. I can taste the spices. I can actually taste the difference in the cheese. Well, instead of it just being salt.
Let me tell you something. Now, me and my palate are very good friends. Okay, like I taste all of that. I love green vegetables. So was your palate
mad at you when you didn't have no seasons?
Huh?
Was it mad at you?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't mad at all.
Okay.
Because my palate is very good friends with my fat cells, and my fat cells are like, don't worry about that because we trying to shrink, so it won't worry about that. But anyways, so when I went to New York, and even though me and my palate on a first name basis. So everybody was eating this pizza, right? They was like, oh, this pizza's so good. The line was wrapped around a block. So me and my friends got in line. We like, ooh, this pizza finna be fine. Now I'm from Chicago, so I know good pizza.
Right.
Don't give me no crazy looking pizza. So we get the pizza. I took one bite and was like, ew. What they do to the pizza? They literally didn't put no flavor in the pizza.
See,
like it wasn't no flavor in the sauce they used. They didn't put nothing on top of the cheese. They didn't try and hook up the crust. They didn't put no garlic butter rub.
Really?
Nothing was. It was so nasty. I didn't even eat it. And I know it was nasty because I don't really be trying to waste no food. Because even if stuff is halfway gross, I'll probably still be like, but I'm not gonna waste this
because
food.
you
But
know,
that was
like,
gross.
I'm gonna need for your inner voice to be a little bit kinder to you because it's like a drill sergeant. We're not dieting to taste. Like,
well, no, I mean, it just depends on what your goals are. Like when you are focused on your goal and you know you need something that, like if someone says you need to eat spinach, but you don't like spinach, but you're not allergic to spinach, eat the spinach.
Yeah, but
Just
you know
suck
there
it
are
up.
other ways to make it good. You could put that spinach in a smoothie.
Yeah, you could, but you might not be trying to do all of that.
Yeah.
You might be
Now,
putting-
I will tell you,
I'm
I
just
was
saying.
on this diet, right? And it was like, girl, I'm gonna tell you, it was about money. It was a thing. It was like, oh, you're gonna lose because you know, this has been a life thing. Like I'm not new to health and wellness. Like
Right.
and it's been a struggle, but I keep going. And
Right.
you know,
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it is a lifestyle. So I remember I did this. It was some type of little program. It was a boot camp, and they were like, "Oh, okay, for $500, you for 6 weeks, you either lose 5 inches or you lose 10 pounds." And then they decided based off of your body type what they wanted you to lose. So it was a bet. Now you know when it's about money, I don't play about my money. I don't play about my money. You know, so I could do hard things. And so what happened was, I know I said it again, but
It's okay, girl.
you know, somebody wrote that book, girl. I missed out, girl.
I know you told me. You told me somebody wrote it.
That could have been a source
I wonder
of
if it's a
income.
sex book.
Anyways, I bet it's just a motivation book. That's a good title because you could get both audiences.
Hey.
But anyway, so when I'm doing this, so basically I'm doing this challenge and it's 6 weeks. And so I signed up for it and I invested my $500, you know, and it wasn't until like the next 2 days or something when they take you to the grocery store. And so I'm like, oh, well, I need to start today because I already want my money back. You know what I mean? So girl, you know, I took and I didn't know what to eat. I went and got some spinach and I put it in a pan and I sauteed that guy and I had some spinach for dinner.
Yeah.
With nothing on it. And it wasn't disgusting. You know what I mean? But
I'm saying if you're not used to even eating vegetables, right? Some people aren't even used to eating vegetables. It might be disgusting for them.
Right. And so I understand what you're saying. Like I did it because I needed to do it.
Right.
I needed the nourishment. It wasn't about the flavor and all those different things.
That's right.
But now that I know how to make healthy food yummy, because it's what I eat all the time, 80%. Because you can have your little cheat meals, but 80% of the time you need to be eating
right.
Whole foods.
Exactly. Raw vegetables, fruits, fresh fruits.
You need to have different colors on your plate.
Yes.
Protein.
80% of the time.
Like whole foods.
Whole foods. Like the whole cucumber.
So here's a trick, guys. Everything in the middle aisles is nothing but corn. Are you a chicken? So stop eating that dang on corn. Okay? I mean, the chips is corn. Everything in there it's made out of corn.
And corn is not a vegetable.
It's not. Say it loud.
It is a grain. It is not a vegetable. If you didn't know. And you know what else is not a vegetable? Potatoes.
Girl.
Potatoes are a starch, which gets into your body and turns into sugar.
Exactly.
So it's basically a sugar. It's not a vegetable.
And I be trying to tell people that they are hoodwinked, bamboozled, and they refuse to.
I'm just saying. Like vegetables, think about it this way. Vegetables tend to have leaves, right? Like leafy leaves on them. They tend to be green, orange. They tend to grow. Like if you ever see corn kind of grows with other corn. That's it. Right. It doesn't grow any other vegetable. Whereas peppers and onions and root vegetables and carrots, they all can grow together.
Right.
Because what grows together goes together.
Oh, say that.
You know, so when you see broccoli, you probably see broccoli and cauliflower together, as well as with Brussels sprouts and things like roasted Brussels sprouts.
Girl.
Anyways, but yeah, so you have to think about it that way. And if they feed it to cows
to fatten them up, girls, say that.
Probably not a vegetable.
Exactly. Because
now
it's a filler.
Now potatoes are a starch. You can most definitely use them in your diet. However, it depends on what diet you're on and what your goals are. You see a lot of weightlifters eating potatoes is because they're trying to bulk up.
Right.
They need those carbs because it's carbs in potatoes. You know, you see a lot of weightlifters eating a lot of oatmeal, a lot of bread, a lot, whatever, because they're in the bulk phase. But then at some point they're going to be in the cut phase where they're only eating lean meats and vegetables.
Right.
Because they're trying to cut off, they're not even eating salt and sugar because they're trying to cut all the fat off so you can see all the muscles, right? So they can compete or whatever they're doing. So it's phases to it. So it just depends. So you have to eat for what you're trying, what your goals are, right? And I don't care what your goal is, really. Corn ain't a vegetable.
It's not.
It's never a vegetable.
Say that slow.
You can eat it. I mean, I love a corn tortilla. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a staple in my home.
The people
it's something
in the
you
back
eat
didn't
outside.
hear you. Say that one more time.
Right. Corn and potatoes are not vegetables.
Wow.
They're just not. I am sorry to disappoint anybody who is listening who think it is. It is not. And I know I grew up thinking it was a vegetable too, but I found out that it was not. And I was like, you know what? That makes so much sense because when you eat it, it come out the same way. It don't even digest in your body. You're not even getting any nutritional value from that. Don't get me wrong.
Margarine.
I love me a black bean and corn salsa. I love it. It tastes amazing. However,
it be clumpy.
It's just corn. It's corn ain't the vegetable. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So
thank you.
You gotta think about it.
That's a nice little tidbit.
Just go around the edge. If you go around the edge of that vegetable section and stop before you get to the dairy section, because don't eat nothing out of there either.
Yeah.
All that dairy is not good for you. Not a lot. A dairy anyway.
Now I do like cheese, but I like real cheese and still sparingly, you know. But yeah, so that's why I said shop the perimeter of the store so that you're gonna have your protein, you're gonna have your vegetables, you're gonna have your fruits.
But you know what? Some of these stores then got slick because in the Kroger by my house, you know what's on the perimeter? Processed meat.
And that's not good for you either.
It goes vegetables and fruits first, right? Because you in the vegetable fruit aisle, maybe your baked goods, some breads or whatever, some salads they made, whatever. And then it goes regular meat, like say you got some turkey or chicken tenderloins or whatever. But then it goes Polish sausages and then all that processed breakfast sausages and then your lunch meats. And then it has the eggs. So you walk in the perimeter, but you running right past. I think what happened was a lot of people got hip, the brand people, the food people, that people are only doing the perimeter and they food wasn't getting bought. So they start putting it in between other stuff because it's the processed meats. And then right after that, it's the eggs. And then it's something else. And then it's like, the almond milk, and then it's like not even a dairy, not like regular cow milk, but it's almond milk, and then it was like that Simply Orange stuff, and then it was like something else, and then it might have been like the dairy.
Oh, you talking about the juice?
Yeah, yeah. And so it's like they tricked it up, and then they had like down the aisles they'll put the cheese down one of the aisles, a little short aisle they made. And then across from it is like some other dairy-ish things like yogurt and stuff like that. Like they mixed the store up. So it's not even perimeter anymore.
See, I don't like that.
Just shop the fresh. There you go.
But see, yeah. And see, it's all, I'm going to tell you, because, I'm a business major, So the things that you need most, they put at the back of the store. So like if you are a person who drinks milk, do you realize it's always at the back of the store? Because they want you to travel through that guy. Pick up all the things you don't need. All of the corn and wheat products in the middle.
Yep.
Like you a farm animal. Every time you go over there and you see that cereal and stuff, don't get it. Are you a cow? think to yourself, am I a cow? Am I a chicken? Do I need to be plumped up because they're going to eat me?
Yep.
And keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
And I know it sounds crazy, but those are the things that stick. You know, it would be the little weird, you know, sayings that you have. That's what sticks. So
it's crazy.
I know you want them Doritos. I want them too. You know what I mean? I love a Dorito.
Girl.
But you can't eat a Dorito all the time. It's corn.
It is corn.
You know,
it probably ain't even corn no more. They didn't process all the corn out of it. It's probably just some flavor crystals stuck together with a hope and a prayer.
Corn approximate.
Right. Girl, the foolery, that's what it is.
So realize that a lot of the things that they're giving you are not necessarily in your best interest. And that's what I need for people to realize. Fresh. That the things that, you know, the things that are readily accessible, very cheap, are not healthy. You know,
if it's in a box, don't do it.
Right, because it can sit. If it can sit on that shelf
for
long
2
term,
years,
it can sit in your body long term. And you know, so this one girl was talking about she don't eliminate daily, ma'am.
Now some people don't. So I actually talked to. So everybody's on different cycles, right? Now everybody may not eliminate every day. But if you have, it depends on what your bowel movements look like. Fiber. Because if you don't every day, but you do every other day, but you have good long bowel movements, and it's a lot, then everything's still coming out. Now, if you don't eliminate at least, I think they said every 72 hours, and it's nothing coming out, like maybe 1 or 2 clumps or whatever.
That corn.
Then that's a problem. Then that is a problem, right? But you don't necessarily have to every single day per se. Then they say if you eat, you should. However, food generally stays in your body 24 whole hours, right? 24 whole hours, like generally, right? So if you have a slow digestive system, then it may take 2 days. But at the same time, guess what should be happening? A lot should be coming out whenever you do.
Exactly.
So it should be a lot. So even if it's not every day, whenever it happens, it should be a lot. It should be enough for them 2 days worth of you eating food.
Exactly. Otherwise, what you're eating, you need to make some changes.
Right. You need to put some fiber.
Because it's going to come out somewhere. It might come out in acne. It might come out in disorder and disease. But it needs to come out. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it comes out of the right end, guys.
Right. But I did find out it doesn't have to necessarily be every day, but it should still all come out.
And this takes us back to technology, right? Because you can Google it. And you can put in all of the parameters of you and your diet and your weight and your all of the things, right? And you can get more specific dietary information for you.
And if you feel like, you're not eliminating, at least every 2 days, I would say. I wouldn't even get to 3, but I would say at least every 2.
Drink some water. You know what you need.
Maybe you do need to reevaluate what you're eating throughout the day that you're not going. Like, why are you not going? Like, did you have fresh vegetables today? Do you have fruit today? Like, what's the problem? Like, most of the things that tend to stop us up is dairy and carbs, because those things don't really have fiber in them necessarily. So just think about that too as you try and reach your goals. I had some issues years and years and years ago, and I went to the doctor and they were like, yeah, you're going to take this medicine. And the medicine was like $500. And I was like, oh, I'm not taking that medicine. Right. And I never had no problems out of that. I was like, you know what? I'm finna just eat more vegetables. I just ate more vegetables and I was fine. And I'm telling you something else. After I had this little surgery a few months ago, I ain't got to worry about nothing no more ever again, y'all. Because everything is flying right clean out. As soon as I eat it, I'll be like, God dang on darn.
Right. And that's how you know that you have a good digestive tract. There's nothing in there that's blocking and clogging. And that's what you want because, like this is the only body you get. So you got to love it and you got to love on it. Like a lot of people, I don't know. It's like they're not aware of, they just push through.
Yeah. You have to be conscientious about your activity levels, what you put
Mhm.
in your body. And it seemed like, oh, I'm eating food. But, you have to really try and understand
Be
what the
conscious.
food is giving you. Like, what is it doing for you? What is it doing for your body, your mental health, your physical health? Because what you eat affects your mind too.
Yeah.
It all relates to each other.
So,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. One thing I was going to mention is technology again. So, because what we don't know until we
Right.
know it, right?
Right.
And if you grow up in some of these households, if you know what I mean, don't grow up in abundance, right? And you just trying to survive, you have to learn and teach yourself how to thrive,
Yeah.
right? So one app that I used was Noom, Noom.
Mhm.
And what that does is it's just, you don't even have to pay for it, right? Because, like I said, I keep all of my coins. Um, but what you do is you track it, and it shows you what foods are yellow. Those foods you need to eat in moderation. What foods are red? Those are the foods you need to eat sparingly. What foods are green? Until you know what to choose. You want to use technology to help you, to teach you to unlearn some of the habits, because like, I mean, it's not like our families like set us up for
Right.
failure. It's just ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't know what you don't
And
know.
you
Or
generally eat what's cheap anyway. If you
right,
poor,
especially if you have a large family
yeah.
and you're trying to spread it all around across. Because I remember, like, we used to put macaroni noodles in chili.
Oh yeah.
So you had macaroni in there, you had beans in there, you know what I mean?
Oh
And
yeah.
those
I
are
still put macaroni into a salad.
those
If I
are
make it,
fillers
that's
to
what.
make it the meal
But it don't
spread.
even taste right without the macaroni now. I just be like, and this is why
Venus, we are helping the
I
people. We
only
helping the
make
people.
tuna salad, but I only eat it every 10 years.
Okay,
And I don't eat it often.
okay. So that's a red food. So
You
you would
know,
eat that sparingly.
every
Okay,
blue moon. It's not
right,
nothing you eat regularly.
right.
But it do be fine with them Ritz crackers, though. I ain't gonna lie.
So I'm just saying, like, you don't have to use Noom. That's just something that
Yeah.
I used. But yeah. So there are food trackers that you can use until you are more aware of
Yeah.
healthy food versus, because it is, they say fat free, that doesn't mean it's healthy for you, you
Yeah,
know
it
what I mean?
doesn't. Fat free don't mean healthy. But they always say back in the day, the food pyramid, 5
But
servings
that was
of fruit.
wrong too.
But it still said 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a
Yeah,
day.
but
And
the
if you're
bottom of the
eating,
pyramid was like grains, and that's what
yeah,
we not supposed to be
we
eating.
not do that. Should be the fruits and the vegetables.
Right.
But you should be trying to eat 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. That's basically 5 cups of fruits and vegetables a day. Not 5 cups of fruit and 5 cups of vegetables. They together. So maybe
Right.
you want to eat maybe like 4 cups of vegetables, 1 cup of fruit every day, or 2 cups of fruit, 3 cups of vegetables, something like that.
And if you
Every
don't
day.
like vegetables, make a smoothie. Put all the vegetables and the fruits in the smoothie and drink that guy.
And it'll taste amazing.
Amazing.
I mean, because spinach and pineapples and kale and a little mango and some ginger tastes real tasty.
Absolutely. And guess what? You got natural sugar from those fruits. So don't even add no extra sugar. I know y'all.
But I will say, don't do more than 1 smoothie a day. So if you only got 2 servings of vegetables in the smoothie, then you need to eat another serving outside the smoothie. But you want to have, like, don't even cook all of your vegetables. Eat some of them raw. Don't necessarily think like most of your food. So if you're eating 3 to 4 servings of vegetables a day, at least 1 or 2 of them should be raw. Like some raw carrots, some raw spinach, like from a salad. Like, don't think of it like, I gotta eat a raw asparagus. That's not what I'm saying. But lettuce, spinach, kale. If you're making a salad, or some carrots, or whatever vegetable you feel comfortable just snacking on. Snap peas are a great snack vegetable. You can use that, or just make sure you eat a salad every day. However you want to do it, but you should be eating some raw food every day. All of your food should not necessarily be cooked, because generally back in the day we would just be eating food that grew out the ground like it was. We wouldn't even be cooking in food, right? That didn't start till later on. So
right. So it's more about nowadays you can use technology to become more aware, and to track your things. So like you said, so we were talking about, you may not see the results, But if you're tracking your results, if you're tracking how many days you went to the gym, that's enough dopamine to keep you sustained, to
Plus,
keep you consistent.
when you go to the gym, what's that you get at what's that you get a dose of when you go to the gym? Because exercise will make you happy. Endorphins.
Yeah.
You get endorphins when you exercise and make you want to exercise, make you happy, make you feel good.
Right.
So even if you don't, like I said, go to the gym, if you just work out at home or go for a walk or whatever you decide you're gonna do, exercise and make you happy.
Right.
It helps your mental health.
Right. Absolutely.
Make you not want to choke people as much.
Yeah, that part.
Or slap somebody.
It's just all about moving that energy through your body.
Yeah, moving it around.
Yeah.
If you ate food and you go for a walk and you start moving around, that food will start moving around.
Yeah.
And you'll probably come back and eliminate.
Yeah. Yes. And guys, listen close. The itis is not a goal. No, you are not supposed to be that fool.
You're not supposed to eat to fall asleep. Though I literally ate a salad the other day and went to sleep. I'm like, I fall asleep on the salad. I was knocked out. I must have just been tired in general, but because it was just lettuce.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but the itis is not the goal because you don't ever want to eat and go straight to sleep or lay down. That's not the plan.
No, I really like to, walk a little bit after I eat. Mm-hmm. I just feel like in my mind that is helping my digestion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I guess the other thing that I would advise is kind of like cutting out excess sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sugar becomes fat, right?
Yeah, sugar just if you're not burning it off, it'll just store and turns into some fat cells or plump your current fat cells up. Either way, it will store for sure. That's why people who eliminate sugar from their diet tend to lose weight because their glycogen stores just are released from their fat cells and their fat cells shrink and they lose weight because your body still needs that energy. So it's just going to get it from where it already has access to it in your thighs, in your thighs. I got plenty reserves around here. I think I'm always have reserves.
Like, I mean, the goal is not to be, snatched and all that. You don't have to do all that. The goal is to be able-bodied.
Yes. The goal is mobility. The goal is mobility. The goal is to be able to rescue yourself. The goal is to be able to take care of yourself.
The goal is not to be on 17 medications.
Right. That the goal is health.
Right.
It's not really about body image per se. Though, I mean, obviously everybody has body goals. I mean, by all means, do you. But overarching, you really just want to be in good health because there's a lot of people with nice bodies who are not in good health. They are still on medications. They cannot run. They cannot rescue themselves. It's just because you're small doesn't mean you're healthy.
Right.
So one thing ain't got nothing to do with the other.
Right.
Let's strive for health.
Yes.
Health and wellness, mentally and physically, emotionally and financially. Hello.
And spiritually.
Spiritually too. Yes. Hello. Goodbye. Hello. Hey.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. So yes.
So overall, what do you think? What is the answer to your question?
I think that now in this age we live in, the digital age, the age of the internet, the age of social media, that it is a little bit more accessible for people to be able to lose weight or at least begin their journeys to lose weight because they have so much information readily available. They don't have to go to the library to get it. They don't have to look through 50 encyclopedias. It's just click, Google, click, search, whatever app or whatever you're on. And you basically get all the information you could possibly ever want or need, or too much information about how to start, how to begin, where to begin, and just to be a healthier person in general. There's also like all these mental health, right, apps and everything like that. So if you feel like, well, I got to get my mind right first, well, get your mind right first. They have all these therapeutic apps and things like that, you know. So it's a lot of things out here that just helps you get a jump start to your consistent lifestyle change, right? So yes, I do think that the age we live in now, even with all its craziness that ensues on the internet and the foolery that happens, there is some positives about being digitally, tuned in.
Yeah, but I think, that's with anything, right? Because it's a tool. If you
Mm-hmm.
use the internet as a tool and
Yeah.
you are conscious of what you consume, right? Then it can be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, anything in indulgence can not be. you know.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think that is great because how you were mentioning like the library and all of those resources that we had before, they may be outdated,
Though I do
or they
love a
may
library.
be impersonal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can exercise. You be like, oh, I reached a plateau. You can chat GPT. How do I overcome this plateau? You know what I mean? And you can put in your specific situation, the exercises that you're doing, to get a solution. So it's all about the way you use the resources that are now at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, great. I think that was a great conversation. We would love to hear you guys' feedback on it and maybe some things that you have done. Like we mentioned, some of the tools that we use that are still available today. I think you can still do the Couch to 5K.
Yeah.
Noom
Mm-hmm.
is still available. Like I said, I use the free sources because I'm going to tell you one thing about me. Like, I look at money as my time and energy. So I'm not going to necessarily invest in things that imprison me. So so I'm always using the free version, and I recommend that you start there and just do what you need to do to get where you need to be. But I would
Mm-hmm.
love to hear from our listeners about your experiences, your health journey, just input, answer our question. Do you think that we are better suited now in the digital age for health and wellness, or do you think that maybe before we were better off?
Yeah, even with the big backery videos, because these big backery videos.
Big back, big. I just love that. I hate. It sounds so
I
ugly,
don't like
but
it, but I like
I mean, it's just so cute. I did.
it.
Did you see the video where the little boy was in the store and he just? It was some people walking down the street and he said, "Big back." He was like
Yeah.
2 or 3. I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god!"
Yeah.
Now these kids,
They would tell.
girl,
They would tell you
girl,
exactly what they think.
right,
And ain't don't care.
right, no filter.
No filter at all.
But anyway, yeah, guys.
All
So
right.
that's our episode.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Until next time.
Bye.